Hi, this is Alken, and welcome back to my channel. Well, as you know, one of the busiest airports in the world, Heathrow Airport, London, UK, had a horrible situation when they had a fire in one of their substations or something and knock out the power and led to only emergency lighting in the facility, leading to the shutdown of the airport, and planes are turning around mid-flight going back to the destination they came from, causing a large amount of inconvenience for a lot of people. I mean, flying, working at the airport, and so on. And now there's a question where this sanity of net zero may have played a role in it. Some YouTubers are suggesting that, others not so much. Even Greco doesn't seem to have a definite answer to this, but we're going to get into it. So I asked the question, is net zero is to blame for the fire that shut down Heathrow Airport? And said the answer to net zero to blame for the fire that shut down Heathrow Airport says based on available information, it is not possible to definitely conclude that net zero policies are to blame for the fire that led to the shutdown of Heathrow Airport. Below is a clear and comprehensive explanation of the situation and says what happened. On the day the incident, a fire broke out at the North Hyde electrical substation near Heathrow Airport, which supplies power to the airport and surrounding areas. This fire caused a significant power outage, forcing Heathrow, one of the world's busiest airports, to close for an entire day. The shutdown disrupted over 1,300 flights and affected hundreds of thousands of people. The airport backup power system wasn't able to fully restore operation immediately, contributing to the prolonged closure. Well, the controversy is that the power supply backup system, which originally was diesel, was replaced with something else that was net zero. And when they tried to operate, it failed. The claim linking to net zero to the fire. See, reformed UK MP Richard Tice has claimed that net zero policy are responsible for the incident. Specifically, he alleged that the Heathrow replaces traditional diesel generator with a net zero compliant biomass backup system. According to Tice, this biomass system failed during the power outage caused by the substation fire, leaving the airport unable to operate. Some posts on social media, like Access, echo this claim, suggesting that the push for greener energy compromised the airport's resilience. Heathrow's response. Heathrow Airport has strongly denied Tice's claims. Yeah, you know why. Claiming that the fundamental untrue, the airport clarified that its backup power system is designed primarily for safety purposes such as ensuring aircraft can land and passengers can evacuate rather than running the entire operations, which consumes as much energy as a small city. Heathrow CEO Thomas Wolby emphasized that the backup system functioned as intended during the incident, but was not capable of fully powering the airport. He attributed the shutdown to unprecedented power outage caused by a catastrophic fire at the substation, not a failure of the backup system themselves. Ongoing investigation. The London Fire Brigade, that's what they call it over there, and the Metropolitan Police, the ones that want to arrest people for mean tweets and Facebook postings, are currently investigating the cause of the fire at North Hyde substation. Oh yeah, that's telling me there was an earthquake somewhere around the world. 5.7, by the way. Early speculation points to a possible failure in the transformer, but no official findings have been released yet. Energy Secretary Ed Miliband described the incident as unusual and unprecedented and cautioned that it is too early to determine the fire cause. Without concluding evidence from the investigation, any link between fire and net zero policy remains speculative. In other words, one of these word salads. And it's not Kamala Harris saying it. Broad context, net zero and infrastructure resilience. Some reports have noted that the North Hyde substation may have been operating over capacity, possibly due to the closure of coal-fired plant stations near London as part of the UK transition to greener energy under net zero goals. While this raised questions about the resilience of the power grid during this transition, it does not directly connect net zero policy to the fire itself. The incident has sparked broad discussion about whether critical infrastructure like airport and substations are adequately prepared for emergency as energy system evolves. Conclusion is that at this stage there is no clear evidence that net zero policy directly caused the fire at Nohide substation or the subsequent shutdown of the Heathrow Airport. The claim that a net zero compliant biomass system failure is disputed by the airport and true cause of the fire remain under investigation. While net zero policies may influence decisions about backup systems and power infrastructure, it is premature to so blame without official finding. That saying, that the incident highlighted the need to ensure that critical infrastructure remain robust and reliable during the shift to sustainable energy sources. Until the investigation concludes, the question of whether net zero is to blame cannot be answered definitively. That's very interesting, but we had seen the failure of these policies in the past. I mean, especially in the motor industry. They don't have enough supply for power, and the cars cannot charge up right away like a gas or petrol engine car can. And of course, the thing is, their terrorism part of the police is investigating this incident too. Even though we don't think it's an act of terrorism, but you never know. Remember, in the U.S., we had incidents where people were shooting at power facilities trying to knock out the power. Some succeeded, some didn't. But they were trying to do that. So anything is possible. But the thing is, I mean, the power supply should not have gone out like that. There should have been a backup that was able to provide enough power so that, yes, you could have evacuations and stuff, but you should be also able to get all those planes that are already coming for landing to get down there and land safely, instead of forcing them to go to another airport or fly halfway around the world and turn back. That's a real emergency. It's not like that judge in here in the United States wanted the planes that were carrying MS-13s and Tren de Agua to turn back. That's not an emergency. That's a silly judge with a court order that he could use it to replace the missing hair on his head. He has a paper wig, as you might suggest. But the net zero insanity has gotten too bad. I mean, I could see on that earthquake. I mean, I could see it in my electric bill. My electric bill is like $120. Now it's $150. I thought I did something wrong, but I noticed that my gas bill is going up. And in New Jersey, the reason is we had 4 coal power plants shut down, and and I think a nuclear facility was shut down because the governor thought that these turbo farms was going to be up and running, providing power. Well, how well did that go? We don't have one in the state. Not one functioning in the state. I don't know about solar panels, but unless you have on your own roof, that's the only reason I could see it. So no, I'm not exactly believing what the officials are saying. I mean, if they did that at a hospital, that would be a major problem. You don't want the power to go out in the middle of a surgery. No. Well, we have to see what happens. But if it's net zero is responsible for this, and I think they should reevaluate their power situation. This is Alcan saying so long for now, and don't forget to stop.